Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to this What's Map DLC special with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome. So it's the Map Pack DLC from Sanctum Gamer released by Paradox in 2022. 8 maps across the 4 biomes. We have already had a look at 3 of the 4 biomes and today we are looking at Temperate, which, if I'm honest, today's 2 maps I think would be in my top 4 across the 8. So both very good maps for me. Kind of like feels a bit like home, both of them in a little way, both in very different ways, both very strong vanilla maps. And the question is, should you buy the map pack? Well, if you are lacking access to the workshop for whatever reason, I would say these are definitely well worth a look. But before we have a look at them, yes, the regulars of my daily show will know what's coming up. It's time for that daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's first map is Farmland Flats by Sanctum Gamer. Yes, Sanctum Gamer is responsible for all 8 maps, which is both a positive and a negative, as I've discussed before, and I'll mention again today as we do the flyover. Start square looks very strong indeed, got road and rail and plenty of buildable space, plus we've got that river as well. The terrain heights, plenty of flat buildable space, especially again if you want to be doing airports, we've got room for that today. Resources, a bit of fill painting, but they are big and blocky and definitely usable, I would say, for however you want to play the game. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we've got the fishes, all of them, just about. Don't know how. Down to ground level and the standards. So yes, Sanctum Gamer has got some very good standards. They're a very good creator. I have mentioned it before, but I had them shortlisted for the creator of Map of the Year a couple of years ago. They didn't win it, but only one person can win it. Across the workshop, where we have tens of thousands of maps, they were shortlisted to be the creator of Map of the Year a few years back. Very good creator, and I can see why Colossal Order and Paradox have gone to them and said, hey, could you possibly do us some maps? And yeah, they've produced some very good ones. This one, I would say, is a very good one. The problem, and it was always a concern for me, the problem is when you're asking one creator to make 8 maps, it's asking a lot from one person, especially when they probably have real life as well. And I know they were remunerated for the work. I don't know how much. I wouldn't ask. I don't think it matters. But yeah, they've been paid for their time. But of course, they'll have their real life. They'll have their day job, and they, of course, they've got their own YouTube channel. They've got a lot of things to be doing. And then to make 8 maps, I mean, goodness me, asking somebody to make 8 maps in a year is tough. To do it in a relatively short amount of time, I'm not quite sure how long they were given, but let's assume, say, 6 months. That's tough. And sometimes shortcuts would have to be made. Not shortcuts, but maybe not checking as hard as they would have done if this was a workshop map and they were investing all of their energy into one map. This is a start square intersection. Like it, it's big, it's bold, it's a bold statement, and I'm liking the way that there's plenty of room for vehicles to get on and vehicles to get off, so there shouldn't be too much in the way of traffic backlog, one would think. There's your start square. That's pretty decent, I would say. But yes, you would think that with around about that big, you'd be able to handle pretty much any weight of traffic. I do have a little concern about that intersection though, which we'll take a quick look at as we finish the flyover. Let's take a quick look at the rail. So yes, in terms of Sanctum Gamer just not having enough time to go over all of these maps in meticulous detail, there's a perfect example of that coming up here, where we have some trees actually under the rail line. Now, again, we're talking about 100% vanilla map, so you wouldn't normally see this because you won't have Anarchy switched on, because you won't have Anarchy. But it's just an extra level of standard where you have trees tucked away under roads. As part of the tree count, Again, we're nowhere near the tree limit, so again, it doesn't really matter as much as it could normally matter to have trees, but it's just a little sign that maybe the map was rushed a little bit, like we have another tree tucked under here as well. So yeah, there's a few little things that point to Sanctum having to, let's say, take shortcuts, not check as much as they would normally check. But the overall design is excellent. This particular map doesn't actually have a shipping route, but we do have the air route, and well, that's pretty much what we want these days. We want our airports because of the airports DLC. Have you got the airports DLC? It's magnificent. Again, if you don't have, certainly if you don't have the workshop, it adds so much extra for you as well. Then we have we got any water flow? I reckon it's going to be flowing downstream this way. Look at that, because we have what looks like there, the, yeah, hang on. Oh, we're flowing upstream. This is weird. This is weird. We've seen this before. Oh, it diverges as well. Look at there. So yes, Sanctum Game has done this before in at least one of the other maps, where the water doesn't flow intuitively, but it is flowing in the start square. So that's the important thing in terms of gameplay. It does flow through the start square, but yes, it's not intuitive. I'm liking the shapes. I'm liking the buildable space. I'm liking it. It just inspires you to actually come and play it, doesn't it? The field painting is bold and brassy, and just some interesting shapes in the fields as well, which should hopefully break up the shape of your city if you run with the fields. Loving the shapes of the rivers, even though they don't quite make sense in the way that the water is actually flowing. But the tree detailing, again, it's strong. It looks like there's a lot of trees on the map, but there's really not as many as you would think. We do have a few in the water as well. Another one of those shortcuts where they haven't gone back and checked. And again, when you've got 8 maps, what do you expect? Good to see that Paradox have actually vetted the map before releasing it, though. Yeah. Anyways, yes, those are some of the downers. I don't have one other down to talk about, but the yes, I'm liking this hill. This hill reminds me of a Roman fort. There's one not too far from me that doesn't look entirely dissimilar to this. I'm hoping that this is a nod to an old Roman fortification. I'm hoping. I don't know if it is, but that's certainly what that reminds me of. And if that's what the intention was, they've done a damned fine job of it. Damn fine job. So anyway, start square. You've got an interesting build area. Okay, so there's your start square there. Which way you're going to build out from it? Well, if you were to come back this way, you've got room to build in here, and then you can build up this way, and you've got room for extra intersections. But if we build out this way, your next one would be here, then the one after would be up here. Then you'd have to turn this way, and then you've got room for 2 more. So you've got room for about 5 tiles up this way. The thing is, where are your extra intersections going to go to take you up there? You've got this one, which will definitely feed up this way, but here just doesn't really look like it would work that way. And so I think there's going to be an awful large weight of traffic on that roundabout on an automatic style of play. You probably will put extra intersections in, but without the 3rd or the 4th highway connections, it does look like this particular map will be very burdensome on that roundabout. Yes, you'd probably pop in a couple of extras along for elsewhere, but even so, having said all of that, even so, Farmland Flats to me is a map that I would quite enjoy having a play at. Just would have liked an extra highway connection off in the direction that maybe I was just showing you. Maybe, why not? Okay, the second map, this one is a much more dynamic shape, much more interesting shape. I think this map will be very popular with a lot of you. It's got a very interesting feature built into it as well, which actually works very nicely for the gameplay, so a lot of credit for that, a lot of credit. We're not even going to have a look at it in great detail, the extra feature. Just, we'll give it a glance. I'll tell you why it's so good. But again, this actually is some very nice work. A lesser creator couldn't have come up with this one. It's Mountain Taper, again, by Sanctum Gamer. Very much a coastal, a slightly more fantastical shape as well, as you'll see, but still very nice. We've got, there's your start square, a couple of sources of water so you can pump and draw, and that is the feature that I'm talking of. Terrain heights, lots of buildable space, and some good shaped mountains as well for backdrop. Resources are again good and strong and very accessible. Very good work again there with the resources. And if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, well, we've got a good mix of fish. It's just about. Now we do have a couple of shipping routes on this map. We'll start with shipping routes this time just to get them out of the way. We could ignore them. We have a shipping route over this side, which is perfectly fine. Nothing to grumble about with that one. And you'll know that I like to grumble about any little thing just because, well, it would be a YouTube show if there wasn't things to talk about, would there? And then we have the shipping route over this side, which just finds its way around. So yeah, if you want to put down a harbour anywhere, you're going to pretty much have ships go to it. Okay, down to ground level, we have got a highway running alongside parallel here with the rail. And there, again, there is a lot of very fine work, especially on this map with the planning and design of it. There will be no doubt something that we can grumble about, but again, I'm not happy unless I'm moaning about something. But yes, again, this is a map that I definitely play. We've got a little bit of drift between the two highways here. Now, normally this is done to avoid an obstacle. And as you have a look here, the road actually bends back in. So it's like we are trying to avoid something, but there's nothing there to avoid. I think I would have liked maybe like a copse of trees going through the middle of that to give that a reason to split up. See how narrow it is as well, relatively narrow there. I don't feel that they would have separated the highways in real life unless there was a specific reason to do it, given that it's a fairly rare. On the other map, which was quite a wide map, I could understand it, but this one less so. This is a start square intersection. Lovely. It's like plumbing, isn't it? It's like pipes in your house. But in a good way. I'm liking this. I am liking this a lot. There's your start square. And got access to go the other way as well. I'm liking the way it breaks. We've also got a few trees underneath. Again, this is stuff that Sanctum Gamer, again, on a workshop map where they're building just one map, they wouldn't have missed this. But again, if you're playing 100% vanilla, which you probably are, you won't see those, so it doesn't matter. These are the things that matter, but they don't matter. It's just, they really don't matter. Anyway, I'm heading off towards the edge of the map. They see it's kind of straight from here on in, so we can probably, I feel, swap over to the rail at this point. Now, the rail does something different on this map from all of the other maps in the pack, and that is we're going to split. We've got a junction. No catenary chaos at the junction, so there's a good thing there as well. It's definitely a branch line. Both lines are both branch lines because we have trees on them. And yes, so we have a break. We have a split. This was very pleasing. I'd like to see the catenaries actually line up all the way along, but again, it's not critical and it really doesn't matter at all. It just would have been a nice extra level of standard. That follows the road up from whence we came, so I think we'll follow the other route. You will notice, however, that these two don't connect with each other, so any train coming from this direction will not be heading off the top of the map over to the side from where we came from. But yeah, we've got a very solid set of networks. Again, we've only got the one. All of the highways across the map pack, it's just one highway route running across the map. And again, I feel that that is a time saver. By that, I mean one of the most time-consuming aspects of making a map is actually putting in the highways and putting in slick-looking intersections. And we have seen a couple of slick-looking start square intersections on previous maps within the map pack DLC. So it's not that they can't do it, it's just that they are so time-involving that I suspect, and it is only a suspicion, nice-looking rail bridge there, no blue mantle, good. But I'm suspecting, just from experience of building maps myself, that this is why they all only have the one highway, just to save on the time, because they had 8 maps. Freaking heck. The beach, very nice beaches. I'm liking the way the trees have been done as well. Of course, we've got these new Mr. Maison trees, and they are lovely. They are lovely. Vanilla as well now. Lovely. Yeah, good forest transitions, nice shapes, very nice looking. All credit there. The rivers are a little bit fantastical, but I'm good with them. Spawn points are very, very standard vanilla spawn points. Just chuck out all of the water all at once. But again, you're probably not going to be that worried about that. But yeah, nice shape of the river. I am liking the shapes of the river on this map. Very nice. A little bit of flooding here and there, but rivers can flood a little bit here and there, so don't have a big problem. Liking the rock detailing on the S-bend there as well, which is very nice. And then we end up in a lake, which is fine. Lake stroke reservoir, maybe. Because we have this rocky area here. Now, just imagine we've got some pipes running from here. Oh, vanilla rocks, which means probably a little bit of vanilla water glitching going on. Yeah, a little bit there. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. But the overall shape and design of this is very nice, because over here, this is where your outflow pipe, imaginary outflow pipes would be as well. And so if you use this concept for putting your water pumping up at the reservoir and your sewage in that area there, both in the start square, you're going to avoid poisoning all your population. Loving the shapes of the trees actually across the entire map. Again, this isn't done to the next level, but the shapes are beautifully done. And for a vanilla base game style map, I would say this is more than adequate. Looks good to me. Also, the shapes of the fields look very good as well. Remember, these are resource painted here, so there's going to be industry just tucked in there. Again, you can make your own shape, but using that is all cool. We also got a shape of a cross, but it's not a cross. It's just an illusion of more fields. There aren't fields, but it'll just help you to shape your city in different ways by using those. Just a nod to how your city should be shaped, maybe. It's up to you how you do it. But yeah, oh, we also have the hill on the other side of the strait. Do you know what? That's fine. That's only background, but I have to show it to you, don't I? I have to show it to you. All told, a really dynamic, great shape for a map. Sanctum Gamer, you can be really proud of this one. And again, I'm just sad that you you couldn't just make 2 maps and pour your heart and soul into 2 maps, rather than making 8 maps where they all feel very nice and they're all nicely designed. I wanted more. So 4 different creators next time, please, Paradox, if you can, so that we can get the very best out of every creator. But yes, Mountain Taper there, very strong map, and I think one that I would enjoy building on personally. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. Join me Monday to Saturday for What's Map, looking at the best workshop maps, trying to find you the best map for your next city build. I've got a ton of new tutorials coming very soon as well, so watch out for that, as well as a few special features. I've been BonBonB. You have been very, very welcome, and I will see you again, hopefully, very, very soon. Thanks for watching.